Test, test, test. How's that? Test, test, test. One, two, three. Just a tiny, tiny little bit. It should be Mike. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Are you hearing it? Test, test, test.
Thank you all for coming. My name is Jose Santiago with the Glendale Police Department. I'm here along with Linda Lopez, family member of Judy Lopez, as well as Officer Moroni Mendez. Moroni's name is spelled M-O-R-O-N-I, Mendez, M-E-N-D-E-Z. Linda's name is common spelling for each. We are grateful today that we are here to basically announce that we have received some justice for the Lopez family and have made an arrest in this murder that took place a little more than a month ago. With that, I'm going to bring forward Linda, who has some words that she would like to go ahead and express for what took place.
Thank you all for coming today. I feel like celebrating, but it's not the right time to celebrate. I want to say thank you to the Glendale Police Department, to all the detectives that put all their time and effort into bringing justice for my sister Judy. It was a horrible thing that happened to my sister. No family should have to go through that, but a lot of families do. All I have to say is thanks to the Glendale PD. We have somebody in custody, somebody that's going to be arrested, and justice will be served for my sister. Thank you.
And with that, we're going to bring forward Officer Moroni Mendez. He'll have the details behind the case, and we'll take questions at the end for both Judy as well as Officer Mendez.
Good afternoon, everyone. As you all know, this took place last month, April 28th, 2025. It was just after 9 p.m. when Glendale police received multiple calls of a injured woman in the area of 83rd Avenue and Bethany Home Road. As our officers arrived, they quickly discovered that there was a female that had suffered some sort of injury, possibly a stabbing, possibly some sort of laceration to her neck. Our officers, obviously quickly began providing medical aid, and we noticed that there was people that stopped by, remained on scene, and helped in this investigation. She was transported to the hospital where she unfortunately succumbed to her injuries. Our detectives responded quickly and began investigating, taking over the scene and looking for evidence, looking for anything that might show us what happened that night, what happened that evening. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find any video surveillance of any kind showing what had taken place. But obviously there was still much more stuff to investigate. We had discovered that Judy had boarded one of our Valley Metro buses in the Valley and got off at that intersection. And, the investigation just kept going from there. It was seen on bus video that Judy had a cell phone with her. She had a cell phone with her when she was getting off the bus, and after she was transported to the hospital and the scene was completely gone through, the cell phone was nowhere to be found. So it was after extensive detective work and investigating that we were able to obtain cell phone data records, and those are the ones we used to locate where that cell phone went after this incident. It was determined that the cell phone was moving in a westward direction into a nearby neighborhood, and that's obviously what provided our detectives with a lot more investigative leads and hints and clues as to where to continue this investigation. As they began conducting surveillance in the area and looking for any type of evidence from homes under security cameras, they quickly learned that there was a black male that had gone through the area shortly after Judy's murder happened. That male has since been identified as 27-year-old James Marshawn Christopher Weekly. As they continued the investigation, they were able to write a search warrant for James' residence. After searching the residence and making contact there, James was apprehended, and a cell phone matching Judy's cell phone was located inside the home. Not to mention the same exact clothing that he was seen wearing in the bus, that's the same bus that Judy was in, and in security camera videos was also discovered. So James was arrested yesterday. This was yesterday afternoon that he was taken into custody, and he is facing a charge of second-degree murder. If you guys have any questions for either me or Linda, I'll gladly take them. Well, he was interviewed. He was interviewed, and he confessed to quite a few things. He did say that he did it. He said that he stabbed her. He used a metal pen to poke her in the neck, and it's unfortunate, but it's difficult to understand what the motive was. He allegedly, and this is in court records that you guys will have access to, he said that she was probably suffering some sort of medical episode. He tried to see if she was okay. She swatted away his hand, and that's when he, proceeded to assault her or injure her. Not that we've been able to determine, obviously, because he did mention that, we would look into that, but at this moment, no. Absolutely. Thanks for bringing that up. We've all worked closely with the detectives on this case, and being in their offices, being amongst them within the last few weeks, they've mentioned something that Linda mentioned earlier: justice for Judy. That's what they've been repeating over and over again: justice for Judy. And it's not just for Judy, but every single one of our victims that we have in Glendale, we have the same feeling. We want justice for them. So our detectives did extensive research, extensive investigating, hours of surveillance, obviously processing the data that comes from a cell phone data dump. It's a lot of numbers. It's a lot of information that they have to process, sort through, and sift through so they can determine what that data means. We have very skilled detectives that take pride in their work, that go to hours upon hours of training to be able to understand everything that they need to do to bring justice to our victims. During the interview, that was asked, and what James had said is that he threw it away in a trash can near the scene. Well, the cell phone data would indicate that shortly after this incident took place, the cell phone and the data that it's projecting over to cell phone towers showed it moving westward and never left that area. And according to the records, it was being turned on and off. So it just went west and it remained there, and that's what led our detectives to search in that area. I don't know the number of times she was stabbed, and from what it appears, it is a metal pen that you would write with. That's something we would definitely look into. I know one of our really skilled detectives that is involved in gang investigations was the one that interviewed him in regards to that specific detail. And yeah, James made that statement that he was involved with the Gangster's Disciples stemming back from Chicago. Not that we know of, not that we've been made aware of.
My sister was a great person. She had a great heart. She was of service always. She was kind. Um, we just had our celebration of life on Saturday. We had 120 people showed up, but that's not all the people that she touched. She touched her apartment complex where she lived, and she touched a lot of hearts. Um, it's amazing to me how many hearts she didn't care if they were homeless, on drugs. She always made sure that they had something to eat. I just, one of her, what is it called? Her neighbors, excuse me. She told us, she says, Judy snuck in a couple ladies, homeless ladies, let them take a shower, fed them, and then they left. Because, I mean, what does a shower do for the homeless? Makes a big, big difference for people. And what she did, she made a big difference. She touched these people. Thank you. Yes, my mom feels elated that they found justice for a senseless murder, because it was senseless. My sister, I don't know what he thinks he was trying to help her. He had intentions. He knew what he was going to do. But that's just my personal opinion. Please, that's just my personal opinion. So, anybody else? Because my sister wasn't on drugs. She wasn't drinking. And he said that he wanted to help her. Yeah, yeah. No, he just touched her. He touched her, and my sister took her hand off because she was, she was by herself late at night. She was defending herself. No, I can't tell you. I don't know. That's something is gonna go with my sister. She's the one that had that conversation, not me. I'm just assuming. Yeah. She was gonna get the 83rd bus to go to my mom on 83rd and Monroe. That's where we live, where we grew up, on 83rd and Monroe. So she was gonna go over there, and then the next day they were gonna have a surprise party for one of my cousins, and that's when we found out. Oh, most definitely. Yeah, she'll never be forgotten. She's gone, but she'll never be forgotten. She's always here, and we have some great memories. Great. So, anybody else? Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys also for all of the coverage that you guys have supplied for this case. It was the help from the media that really helped us get a lot of useful information that our detectives were able to use. We can't stress enough the good detective work that our detectives did here. This was a lot of manpower. This was a lot of hours of work. As you know, we've been dealing with a lot here in Glendale, and our detectives never lost sight on what they were doing for this family, and they really wanted closure, and they are so proud that they were able to get closure for this family the way they did. Once again, thank you for your time today and the coverage.